Pretty Ricky on X, who, let me just say, Pretty Ricky has been crushing it in the offseason. A lot, not everything, nobody bats 1,000, but a lot of what he has tweeted has come to pass. So I'm just going to read this, and then we'll get to some of the super chats. I see him there. Don't worry, we'll get to him. Pretty Ricky says, rumor, the Raiders are a team interested in trading for Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk knows Antonio Pierce from Arizona State. Here's the fun part. The Raiders would send Davante Adams to the Niners in any trade. Davante has no real money on his deal after this season.
Boom.
What?
Boom. So let's just go through it step by step and talk about why. We can talk about why it doesn't make sense, but let's talk about first why it does make sense. First of all, Antonio Pierce connection. Didn't know that, but he was a coach at ASU when Aiyuk was there. 2, if you're going to trade Aiyuk for a player, why not a player who plays the same position and is just as good, if not better? Now, of course, he's 5.5 years older than Brandon Aiyuk. That's a lot. But right now, the Niners are sort of resigned themselves to maybe going year to year with Aiyuk anyway, and him not being on the team next year or the year after that. So if you're looking at that type of a proposition with Aiyuk, I mean, you could have Davante for $16 million this year, and then you could potentially cut him next year and get out of the contract entirely, or you could restructure the contract and keep him around a few more years. I mean, it's an intriguing option.
It's not going to do anything to quiet the Brock Purdy haters, right? Now you've got Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, and Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can we get any more all-pros to throw in the top of this offense? I don't know why the 49ers would do it. Unless they thought, like, there's no redeeming the situation. There's no way Brandon Aiyuk will ever, unless they thought it was just so far gone that there was never a way to recover. If you're the 49ers, why wouldn't you just keep Aiyuk? He's younger. He's cheaper.
Right.
But maybe they look at it that way. I don't know.
Let's play out that scenario. Like, obviously the Niners want to extend him, but if that's not an option, if they just can't work that out, and the Niners like, okay, cool, fine, then you'll play in the 5th-year option, and we can tag you, and we'll play hardball too. Is that what you want to do? Like a disgruntled Brandon Aiyuk who doesn't care if you win or lose, but is only out for his own targets and is like bringing the morale of the team down and winning in spite of that? Like, you might be able to, you probably could. Or would you rather have Davante Adams, who's dying to play for the 49ers from East Palo Alto, grateful to get the hell out of Las Vegas, and everyone on the team respects him? It's not like Brandon, who's the little brother at the children's table, like trying to fight for respect. It's freaking Davante Adams. Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey all would understand if he gets 140 targets next year. So something to think about.
There's another aspect to bringing in Davante Adams, which I don't know how much it counts, but I think it's worth at least mentioning. How many times have we sat here and talked about how hard it's going to be for the 49ers to climb that mountain? Can they really do it again? Can they get back? If this trade happens, you get rid of Brandon Aiyuk, who's got some scars. You bring in Davante Adams, who is not part of that. He doesn't have those scars. He still has the hunger to get back to where the 49ers want to be. That's not nothing, right? It's not. He doesn't have a Super Bowl hangover. He wasn't in a damn Super Bowl. He doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. He doesn't have a Super Bowl. He doesn't have it. So is that a huge factor? No, it's not like you have to do that deal because of it, but it's not nothing.
I feel like it energizes the team. It makes it's now it's a new team. It's not the team that lost in the Super Bowl last year. And it's not right now. Brandon Aiyuk's grievance is hanging over the whole season. Like when they show up to training camp, all the stories are going to be about him. Is he there? Is he happy? What did he say? What did he think? What did he eat for breakfast? Like, all of this stuff is more important than the team. And that's why Trey Lance isn't on the team anymore, because he became bigger than the team at no fault of his own. Brandon Aiyuk is making himself bigger than the team. So you could live with that and try to make it, it's not ideal. You could try to make it work, or you could flip him for Davante Adams. I mean, that's intriguing. Like, again, I would say that Davante Adams probably is still better than Brandon Aiyuk right now.
I would agree.
So the team gets better in the trade now. And you were already thinking about trading Aiyuk next year, tagging and trading him next year. Like, if he's only on his last year here, why not flip him for someone who's just playing better and give yourself a better chance of winning the Super Bowl from on the field, in the locker room, all that stuff?
It's a way, I remember when the Broncos had Tim Tebow, right? He won that playoff game against the Steelers, and everybody was like, oh my God. And everybody knew he stunk, but they kept winning games. And John Elway was in a tight spot because he knew he couldn't play. But do you want to get rid of a quarterback that won a bunch of games for you, won a playoff game? He might have taken some heat in the locker room if he had done that. But what happened? Peyton Manning became available. And he got out of that scot-free because nobody was going to say, you have to keep Tim Tebow over Peyton Manning. But if they had brought in somebody that wasn't Peyton Manning, he probably would have taken some heat. Well, if the 49ers had traded away Brandon Aiyuk for a draft pick or whatever, maybe they take some heat in the locker room. If you trade Brandon Aiyuk and you bring in Davante Adams, who I think we could agree at the very worst is as good as Brandon Aiyuk, is probably still better than him at this point, you're not going to take heat in that locker room, I don't think.
Also, like, let's bring in the Brock Purdy situation. Brock Purdy is the reason that Brandon Aiyuk's having a tough time getting the extension he wants, because the Niners don't exactly know how much they're going to have to give Brock. And I think they're trying to tell Brandon and their other star players, like, look, you're going to have to bear with us a little bit and maybe work with us a little bit because we're entering new territory here. We have a franchise quarterback and we're going to have to pay him franchise quarterback money. And that's a fluid situation, what that even's going to be next year. So Brandon, $30 million a year. I know you could get that elsewhere, but if we were to give you that, we would be breaking up this team. And this team is so special. Aren't you proud to be here? Don't you want to be here? And he's like, nah, I don't want to take a back seat to that. I want my money. And if that means breaking up the team, who cares? Like, give me the ball more. Like, that's kind of how he's talking. And if that's option one, or option two is Davante Adams being like, yeah, I want to be here. Yeah, I'm bought in. Then, I mean, I'd go with Davante Adams, even though he's 32 in December. I don't care.
He's older.
Yeah.
Kenny 757. Let's get to some of these super chats. As I just saw the headline of this video and said, hell yeah, in the Stone Cold Steve Austin voice. BA, there's no way you want to go back to Jimmy. Oh, never mind. He's benched. He's not on the team anymore. Jimmy's on the Rams. But that would have been hilarious if Jimmy Garoppolo was still there and then Brandon Aiyuk went to the same team again.
Yeah, go play with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, man. Have a good time.
Yeah. Tyler Caressley says, Rob, Grant, it feels uncomfortable to watch and listen to these press conferences, especially when they said they had their team last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were smelling themselves last year. I don't know if you watched the receiver show, but after the Cowboy game, Nick Bosa, or during the Cowboy game, I think on the sideline was like, we've never had a team like this. And I do think
they believed it the whole year that this was the best team in the league and the best team they had. And they might have been right. And they still didn't win. That's tough.
Chris Maldonado, YouTube channel member. Shout out to all our YouTube channel members. Thank you for all your support. I love you. It's less than $3 a month if you want to sign up. You get emojis, you get membership badges, you get priority comment response. Please do. Chris says, what's up, fellas? Sorry to interrupt. Quick question. How do you become part of the Gold Standard NC25 Dynasty League? I'm picking the game up on payday and wanted to be a part of it. Much love and respect. Here's the deal. I can't play the game until Friday because I'm not giving EA Sports any more money than I have to. I will start up a Dynasty League as soon as I can get into the game. If you want to join the Gold Standard Dynasty League, you have to sign up to be a YouTube channel member. I will put all the information on our community tab on the YouTube channel page. We can sign up. We can play. I'm going to buy a prize, some sort of autographed jersey, autographed helmet, something. I will have a prize for the winner, and then that's how you can sign up and play, and hopefully you can win the prize. Obviously, I will not be eligible for the prize when I kick everybody's ass in college football 25. But that is the information for you there.